Hey guys, Jonah here again with another non-alcoholic beer review. Probably going to be back on the alcohol at some point, real soon. But at the moment, still no alcohol and still suffering with this cold, summer cold, man flu. It's dreadful, and still fucking cancer. And weirdly, um, this week is Cancer Awareness Week. So, uh, yeah, be aware, cancer is a motherfucker. Shamal. Um, right. I have actually drunk this beer before, long time ago, probably getting on for 10 years ago, and it used to be in bottles, but now in cans. This is the original alcohol-free BrewDog beer. It's called Nanny State. Um, as usual, it's quite a hoppy bad boy. Alcohol is not totally alcohol free. None of them are, to be perfectly honest. 0.5% on the old ABV. And weirdly, I bet you didn't know, although if you watch these videos, if you've subscribed, which you should do, dear viewer, um, even things like Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper actually contain alcohol. A Muslim friend that I used to work with, he always used to tell me that he couldn't drink Coke um, because of the alcohol content. But it's micro, it's really, really small amounts, but apparently so. Um, no alcohol, no compromise. It says blurry there, unfortunately. And let's see if we can yeah, let's see if we can zoom in on the back here. There we go. So allergens and all that kind of stuff. Contain water. Is that an allergen or is this just? Oh no, they're in bold. Sorry, allergens in bold. So barley, water, hops, malted wheat, which is cool, yeast and rye. So this contains a bit of rye in there. Doesn't actually say uh, what the hops are. I'm probably sure that I could find out. Um, and I should have probably found out before now, dear viewer, but you know what I'm like. I tend to do things on the fly. I'd be dangerous if I did some preparation for these videos. Well, I do a little bit. I mean, this was in the fridge. Um, anyhow, if I remember, and like I say, I have reviewed this beer before, and I thought it was very artificial, if I remember rightly. It wasn't. It wasn't a very real ale beer. Look at the head on that. Looks almost like a real beer. I can be a real boy. Watch my nose grow. Right. Get that in and then do a cheesy grin. Cheesy grin for luck, and we're on our way to beer. Um, Something I didn't do before. Look at that colour. It's reasonably. Uh, it's not hazy. It's reasonably see-through. Lovely dark. I thought it was going to be really light, but it's really dark. And that head is still there, although um, the bubbles are fast disappearing. And I suspect that was more due to the way I poured this beer than anything else. But we shall see. Oh dear, I got a watermark. You picking that up? Got a watermark on my glass. Never good. Right. My nose is not working very well, but definitely getting some hop aroma. Not superbly impressive, say in the way of a punk IPA or something, but I think I'm detecting some lemon type hops and probably citra in there as well. But my nose is truly bunged up, and yeah, I haven't done my Somalian course, so I'm not a proper beer Somalian. Um, maybe one day, you never know. Cheers and beers. Let's dive into this bad boy. Ooh, quite a bit of carbon dioxide that is, hits the palate. Ooh, yeah, I did get some sort of citra, but there's something else in there as well. Maybe Simcoe, maybe something like that. Ooh, and that's something interesting. Look, don't know if you can see that, but I've actually got a tide line from an alcohol-free or a low. They call them alcohol-free or AF, but I'm going to say low alcohol beers because I'm a strong believer. Unlike the American beer people who basically set the trends and call everything alcohol-free when it blatantly has alcohol in it. Is this glass poison-free? Oh, it's only got a little bit of poison in it. Oh, that's good enough. We'll call it poison-free. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Anyhow, low alcohol beer. It is quite hoppy. Um, there is a bit of sweetness from the malts, and I say malts in the loosest term because there is a very kind of chemically kind of taste to this. Maybe because it's from a can, but I think if I remember rightly, I kind of got this from the bottle version as well. Um, but it could indicate that the beer is really watered down. Um, there might be some colouring in, perhaps, and then they put some extra sugar in, um, dextrose, maybe. It does say malted wheat, rye as well. Usually can get a bit of rye. The taste of rye is unique, but not so much on this one. It's not really giving too much away, and I don't know, but the writing on there is so tiny. It is ridiculous. Um, yeah, it doesn't really go too much into it. I very much suspect that. I mean, that colour could be from rye, perhaps. Um, and rye, I don't think is as how should we say, alcohol forming um, as barley, especially, but wheat too, especially if it's malted. So maybe there's a bit of rye in, but it just hasn't turned to alcohol. Or maybe they're using enzymes. There are very different ways of creating a lower alcohol beer. They don't always mean that you're putting less of the ingredients in. You can remove the alcohol or do things, but it doesn't taste really super sweet either. So I'd imagine the alcohol might be removed as opposed to using an enzyme, which is the other way of doing it. Yeah, or boiling it off, but I don't think they've done that either. Hey, BrewDog, if you know, let me know. Yeah, I'm wondering. My taste buds, like I say, have gone for a Burton along with my nose, but I wonder if I'm thinking rye now. I wonder if that kind of chemically taste is from the rye. But I've had rye beers before. Believe it or not, I actually quite like certain rye beers. Um, but no, there's that metallic thing in there as well. Um, and chemical. I mean, this has definitely got some sort of chemicals. What I am very impressed with, though, is the tide lines. It's definitely got protein in there, which is a kind of helps form those lines. Tide lines, I call them lacing. Sometimes people call them on the glass, which I really, really enjoy. Um, very interesting. This is, like I said, this is, as far as I'm aware, the original alcohol-free beer from BrewDog. used to be in a blue. No, was it a blue bottle? I know Punk IPA used to be in a blue bottle. I'm not sure if Nanny State. It's got that green stripe. So does that mean it used to be in a green bottle as well? Anyway, this is the daddy. There are others, obviously, now, and I've drunk a few of them and done some reviews on them. So, yeah. As hop water goes, look, there's another tide line. It looks really good. I am suitably impressed. One, two, three, kind of, and that's the residual head. I am actually quite impressed by this one. Like I said at the beginning, I have got results and things. The doctor hasn't bothered talking to me at all, as they never do these days. Don't know if you've noticed, but since the COVID, getting hold of your doctor is incredibly difficult, and the customer service of the NHS has gone down the pan. And unfortunately, my confidence is very lacking for them. The only thing you can say is it's free, as opposed to other countries where you have to pay. Well, I guess we pay from from the national budget as opposed to health insurance. Um, but I'm sure the people I work with, who, as always, will remain nameless um, for fear of repercussions. Um, yeah, I think they'd set up some sort of medical, healthcare system for us. But um, yeah, not the NHS is not high up on my Christmas card list, shall we say? Where am I going with this? Well, they've not said anything. All my blood results came back normal, apart from the ones that were abnormal, but I knew about those. There were no surprises at all, and no reason why I collapsed in the street. So it's been 2 months since I've done this alcohol-free kind of thing. So I think, and I've had a sneaky couple of beers, a swift, sneaky couple of halves. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to go back on the booze, back on the wagon. Um, the other thing I think is I feel slightly ripped off by alcohol-free products. Don't know how you guys feel, or anyone that drinks alcohol-free products. Leave a message down below. What do you think? Should alcohol-free products be as expensive or more expensive than their alcoholic cousins? Um, I totally get that if you're removing alcohol by doing extra processes in the production line of making your beer, then yeah, there might be a cost implication. However, I don't think the taxes are the same on alcohol-free products. So you hear breweries are whining, in my expectation, sorry, in my experience, I should say. Oh, the tax on beer, oh, it's so high. Well, if the tax on beer, which is about a third, if I remember rightly, it's sort of, I think it's either a quarter or a third. Let's say a third of the price of your beer. So a low alcohol or non-alcoholic beer should be at least a third cheaper because you're not paying tax on it to the government. So why are the beers roughly the same price? I know that some of them are a tiny bit cheaper, but they're not substantially cheaper. So I feel ripped off. Um, and yeah, I've been threatening, and I have been doing some home brewing as well. But I've been threatening to go back to home brewing to save some money, um, which I think I might do. Um, anyway, this has gone on for long enough. We've gone well over 15 minutes. Thank you for listening to my beer reviews for the alcohol-free beers. We might come back to some of these in the future. You never know. But Definitely going to start producing some more alcohol-based ones. This has been Uncle Jonah saying shalom to you, alcohol-free or alcoholic beers. Please have one. Thirsty Thursday. Thursday's a new Friday, apparently. And we'll take care of each other. We'll take care of you. And hopefully, you guys will take care of me. And if you can work that one out, you're a better man than me, Gungadin. Shalom.